because the power of prayer is immense. We Christians need to realize the power of prayer and become prayer warriors. We can drink poison and it will not harm us.
Hello YouTube, how y'all doing? I really don't like what I'm fixing to do here, but there's really no other way to do it. Now, religion and saying the things that she said in the very beginning of this clip, you can't tell people that they can literally do something unless they have a strong enough faith and believe in what they're actually doing. I don't recommend anyone to try what she said, no matter how Christian or how strong your faith may be. Doing that to clear the record. And I wouldn't take any advice from a person that started a hoax with this man, since this man is the biggest hoaxer that we've seen, along with his sidekick, which he has 2 channels, and you'll see him here momentarily. This is a video put together with a whole lot of different things that has happened in the last few months to keep our attention blockade. And I'm making this video so everyone can actually see the different things that are going on to stop the real truth. Now, this little story that I got that's going to be read to you comes from, I'm pretty sure it's the Department of Defense. But when you listen to the rest of it, here's the hoaxer with his girlfriend. This is the real character, not Bill Wells. But while you're listening to the robot read to you, pay close attention to everything that I just said and what she just said and the things that has happened between these 3 characters in a plot or a play, whichever you want to call it, and all of the other photos and images you may see to see all the plots and the characters that you're going to see. Folks, I've told y'all before and I'm going to tell you again, we have to abolish the Act of 1871. And if we play these games that they're wanting us to play, we're not going to win. And let me also add in this. Those 3 characters that we were talking about earlier and the characters that you see on here, they ain't got a clue about what I'm even talking about. Not one. Not even remotely do they have a clue. If they did, they'd be talking about it a whole lot more. Since that's their Christianity that they talk about is based on the true Constitution of the United States, not the made-up one that we are attending to now. So with that, folks, much love to y'all. Y'all have a great day. And take a little bit of your time and look up the Act of 1871 for yourself, for your family, for your children, and your grandchildren. And I'm sorry about the dog. But much love to y'all, and y'all have a great day.
Ambitious exercise program keeps Stratcom mission ready by Donna Miles. American Forces Press Service off at Air Force Base. April 16, 2013. The United States Strategic Command's exercise program, once focused solely on nuclear readiness and command and control, has gone global, now encompassing all its mission areas, and crossing into every combatant command. Stratcom exercises as it would fight. Patrick McVeigh. the command's director of Joint Training Exercises, told American Forces Press Service. That means integrating all the capabilities it could be called on to provide regional combatant commanders, space, cyber and ballistic missile defense capabilities, among them. We'd never do nuclear operations in a vacuum, McVeigh said. It is never going to be just nuclear. It is going to be in space and in cyber, and we are going to have to use all our capabilities. Except in the event of the most devastating of conflicts engaging nuclear forces, Stratcom would serve in a supporting role to a regional combatant command, McVeigh explained. But even those lines would quickly blur, he said, causing a ripple effect across the homeland and ultimately, the entire United States military and interagency. It is an interdependent world, and no combatant command is going to be fighting the fight on its own, he said. We are going to be interdependent, supporting and supported by one another. That recognition has transformed the command's exercise program, now closely linked with those of the United States Northern Command, the United States Pacific Command, the United States Southern Command, the United States European Command, the United States Africa Command, as well as the United States Special Operations Command and the United States Transportation Command. All, McVeigh explained, understand the capabilities Stratcom would provide them in a conflict, and the need to establish the necessary relationships and procedures now. If something happens in an area of responsibility and the first time our commander talks to their commander about what their requirements are in a crisis, that is not an optimum situation, he said. That's why we do our exercise program with them, to establish those relationships and those linkages, so they can understand what our capabilities are, and what strategic command brings to the fight in terms of space and cyber capabilities, intelligence, surveillance and reconnaissance and other support. Stratcom participates in nearly every major combatant command exercise, injecting intelligence-based scenarios to add realism, said Chris Reel, chief of the command's Joint Exercise Division. All our exercises are based on real-life events, real-life actors, real-life capabilities and threats, he said. With increasing frequency, Stratcom also includes interagency operations into its exercises. In the past, we focused only on the military part, because we are a military organization, Reel said. But in the real world, there is never a time when the military does anything on its own. It is always working with the State Department and other agencies and organizations and the whole of government, so we are working to replicate it in all our exercises. Their goal is to ensure the exercise program provides a dress rehearsal of everything we think we would do in a real crisis, Reel said. That way, if something bad happens next week, we are more ready to do it, because we practiced everything as realistically as possible. While integrating these elements into its own exercises and the exercise support it provides other combatant commands, Stratcom maintains a stringent training schedule for its nuclear deterrence mission. That's critical, because for this mission, every day is game day, McVeigh said. You can't afford to mess that up, because the standard is perfection. Air Force General C. Robert Keller, Stratcom's commander, and his headquarters staff and component leaders rehearse nuclear operation scenarios daily, with McVeigh's team working in unexpected twists, to ensure they're familiar with the latest procedures. The Global Operations Center exercises its procedures several times a day as well. This is something that you practice and practice all the time to make sure the command stays on top of the procedures, McVeigh said. The philosophy of the training is to maintain that edge every day. 2 major annual exercises, Global Thunder and Global Lightning, test out capabilities across the nuclear enterprise, with bombers, submarines and land-based missiles participating. Effective deterrence requires having the capability to do what we say we will do if attacked, McVeigh said, as well as the national will to use it. So if we let our nuclear capability atrophy or become unreliable, we lose that capability, he said. With its ambitious exercise program ensuring the command remains mission-ready, McVeigh said, Stratcom's most important goal is to provide the deterrence that helps prevent conflict from breaking out. The optimum situation is that Air Force General C. Robert Keller, Stratcom commander, never has to fight this fight, and we don't have to defend our space assets. We don't have to fight off a cyber attack. We don't have to do a global strike against an adversary. We don't have to conduct nuclear operations, and instead, we deter an adversary from taking the steps that would result in that, McVeigh said. That's what strategic deterrence is all about, and the goal of everything we do here at the United States Strategic Command, he added.